Hello. Shit. Hello. Welcome to the place on the internet. Hello. Welcome to the place on the internet that I talk about comic books. I am once again not in my own home. Today I'd like to talk about the cool deficit. We're at this moment where Western comic books have no cultural cachet, no cool to them, at least for young people. And I was wondering if we couldn't explore why that is. As a creator-owned creator, I will take all the accountability that comes with that, but I do think that we should probably start at the corporate publishers. Why would a 14-year-old have zero interest in Spider-Man and infinite interest in Chainsaw Man? Is it possible we've misjudged what exactly the new sensibility is? A lot of minutes of screen time have been devoted to the alleged apolitical nature of manga, the accusation that Western comics are fixated on identity politics. There's probably some truth to that, although it's not terribly difficult to find political manga, but it's true enough that it's not the popular stuff. But do we really think that kids, 14-year-olds, are so against politics that they would prefer to read anything but Spider-Man? Now, 100% yes, nobody likes to be preached to, and certainly corporate Democrat worldview that comes across, it can be off-putting. Notice I didn't say progressive, which is what everybody in the kind of YouTube universe labels that material. Take it from a guy who is lifelong with these ideas. That's not progressivism. It's basically Clintonite politics with a new wash. It's not what you think. Whenever I see the kind of maybe not right-leaning but conservative pundits in the comic book sphere get all exercised about, you know, the leftists are invading our spaces and progressives, it's like, you don't even know what those words mean, man. Like, I don't know if you've ever encountered one. Like, it's the shit that we find in media is what's allowed to be there. So it's always going to be within the Overton window of, corporate bullshit, right? So is it leftist politics, big quotation marks there, that are turning 14-year-olds away from Spider-Man, or is it more likely that it's just the banal corporatism and sort of familiar and tired sort of position that all these things take? Yeah, maybe, but I think it's just that kids are edgier than we thought. I don't know if it's any great crime to include pronouns in a Spider-Man comic book. It is a great crime to make that book boring as shit. It is a great crime to make it so that no 14-year-old would feel excited about the next issue. That no 14-year-old would go into a comic book store with the intent of picking up a previous issue. That is a great crime. I'm going to lean in for this. Kids don't like safe things. It's only damaged adults that like safe things. Kids like things that are challenging, makes them feel older than they are, presents them with adult concepts that they have to work through. And that's exciting as a kid. I think if any of you look back to your childhoods, you'll remember, oh, right, I liked the edgiest thing that I had access to. Let's take a second and criticize the creator-owned creators. A lot of us are taking our marching orders from the corporate publishers, even if we don't know it. We're doing material that will allow us to work for them in the future, and therefore we're neutering our more aggressive work. There's a chilling effect. When you see the vibe and you get the gestalt, you understand what the zeitgeist is, it's all in front of you, it's don't offend. There's going to be a great many creators who just understand this implicitly and don't offend. they don't ever have to consciously acknowledge that this is the case. They're just following that bullshit right off a cliff. If we want to compete with manga, can I please suggest that the elements of manga that are appealing to a casual reader, that is not continuity, that appeal to a kid, that is not, approved politics. It is somebody getting their head sawed off by a chainsaw so that the wielder can touch a boob. That's what Chainsaw Man is about. If you haven't checked it out, it's pretty good. That's what a 14-year-old wants. Why that escaped us for any length of time is beyond me. Right now we have a very confused energy. We have creators who are not edgy people by nature, and that whatever rough edges they had have been sanded off by corporate culture. When that's just not what anybody wants. I mean, literally anybody. You don't even have to think about it, right? You just inherently know that something that is safe and inoffensive can't win long term unless it's toothpaste, unless it's a product that everybody needs. And nobody needs comics, right? Maybe my generation's a lot of people that need comics, but nobody needs comics. So if Toyotas and Porsches were the same price, everybody would drive a Porsche. Sometimes there's this other quality that's called cool. So imagine that you believe you're crafting really great corporate comics. Look, maybe you are. Maybe there's books I'm missing. God bless. You're not making cool corporate comics. And because other forms of entertainment are as accessible, perhaps cheaper, you can't win with the pap. You can't win with the mush. We have to be more aggressive with our content. It doesn't mean we gotta have, everybody's getting sexually assaulted. It doesn't mean everybody's got to get their head sawed off. It just means that you have to put yourself in the mind of somebody who might actually be excited to purchase something, not your current perspective, which is, how do I not offend my corporate paymasters? What if they get a letter? What if they get a letter? What if they get a tweet? Put yourself in the mind of a prospective comic book buyer who is casual, enjoys things like Dark Souls, like these massive pop culture phenomenon that have immediate and obvious crossover with other geek shit. Put yourself in that person's mind. They want something provocative. Let's give them something provocative, please. Tell me if I'm wrong.